Welcome to South Harmon. Welcome to South Harmon. Hey, welcome to South Harmon. We glad you here today. Another AMA. Ask me anything. Super chat is cool if you wanna pay to play. Like and subscribe, that's what we really appreciate. Let me introduce you to the tear down king. Mike McNutted, ask your questions, he'll answer anything. ATM, you know Adam, put them graphics on the screen. Glad you tapped in now, stay tapped in for the team. Hey, everything is posted. Go follow the socials. South Harmon FF tag us if we get noticed. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Another AMA. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back into the Start Shit Show. I am Eric Vanek, and you can find me on X at Eric Vanek NFL. And as always, I'm joined by T-Rock, and I'm joined by Matty Kiwoom. Boys, what's going on? It's week 3.
I'm here to redeem myself here, baby. Here to redeem myself.
I'm doing pretty good right now, UV. Pretty excited for this week. Me and Coop are on top when it comes to the start shit tally, so got to keep that going. It just turns out if you just miss a week, you can be out in front. So that's what I'm hoping to keep up with that energy. But I'm excited to be here this week.
Yeah, man, it's been fun couple weeks here in the NFL so far. A bunch of quarterback injuries this week, so we got a bunch of backup quarterbacks playing this week. So I'm sure we're gonna get a bunch of quarterback questions today. Help our folks out here to get a win here in week 3. So if you guys have any start sit questions, make sure you post them up in the chat, and we will get to them as we go. If you got a pressing one that needs answered right away, super chat's the best way to do that. And, yeah, so let's get right into it here. So we got our first one here from Jeremy. It's a 2-part question. How are we feeling about Travion Henderson? Start 2 of Travion, Tyler Warren, or Scadabo, full PPR. This is the second part of this question. So we'll start with this first one. Start 2 out of Travion, Warren, or Scadabo in full PPR. T-Rock, who you starting there?
I have Travion Henderson, the lowest of those. Cam Scadabo, I have 10 spots ahead of Travion Henderson. But Tyler Warren is very hard to sit. I feel like he is going to be the focal point of the offense until otherwise said. I know that he popped up in the injury report, but he is a full go. I'm going to go with Tyler Warren.
Okay, how about you, Matty?
So I'm definitely going Warren. T-Rock's hitting that one. I'm going to go with Warren. He's the highest ranked running back in my rankings this week. The next two are pretty close. I am going to go with Travion Henderson in the PPR format. The catches, were still there last week. He's still got a pretty good volume considering he only played like 10, 30, I mean, he was like 10% lower in snaps as he was the week before. And it's going to be a game where against the Steelers, we've seen that defense allow the opposition to kind of open things up. Travion's too good in pass pro to have that happen again after a bad week. But in terms of my projections, it's pretty close of their points. We're looking at 11 or 10 kind of for each. But I'm going to go with Henderson here because of the catching in PPR. And Scadabo's got a really tough rush defense in the Chiefs tonight.
All right, I am going to go Tyler Warren and Cam Scadabo for me on this one. I want to see it from Travion. He couldn't pass block worth a fuck last week and got benched for it and couldn't do it. So I want to see it first. He's going to have to prove it to me. I mean, I know the Steelers' defense has been pretty shitty so far, but Tyler Warren's been a lock for over 10 points per game, just even in a regular PPR league the last 2 weeks. And Scadabo is going to be the starting running back going forward here for the Giants. And I think the Giants, me and Maddie talked about it on the walkthrough, I think the Giants might beat the Chiefs tonight. So I think Scadabo would be a big reason why. So, yeah, give me Warren and Scadabo on that one.
I got a clarifying question. Do you think he means Jalen Warren or Tyler Warren?
Oh, yeah.
That might change some things.
Yeah. I was taking that as Jalen Warren.
I was thinking as Tyler.
Yeah, I didn't even
Oh,
realize
that's
that we did that.
hilarious.
Well,
Yeah.
Jeremy,
I was-
maybe be more specific next time. Let's move on.
Yeah, I mean,
Either way, I'm going Warren for sure. Tyler
Yeah.
or Jalen. You can lock them
Yeah.
both in for me.
Yeah, same here. All right, next one here from Jeremy. A-Warp, tight end life, Otten, Chig, or Tangis. No tight end premium. Maddie, which tight end are you going to go with here?
I'm going with Chig, but all of them are outside of my top 15 this week. But I would go Chig.
Yeah. All right, T-Rock.
They are back to back towards the bottom of my rankings, but I do have Chig ahead, so I'll go with him.
I think I'm going to go with Otten on this one. I think it is close, but I'm going to go Otten with maybe Agbuka being limited a little bit. Might lead to some more Otten work, so I'm going to go with Otten on that one. All right. DB's got one for us. Warren or Jake Ferg, half premium, half PPR, no premium. I think this one's pretty easy for me, but T-Rock, who you got?
Once again, which Warren are we talking about? Jesus
Well, I
Christ,
guess
guys.
it's a tight end. I guess it's a tight end question, so I'm going with Tyler Warren.
All
I'm
right,
assuming Tyler
yeah,
Warren.
it's Tyler Warren then.
Yeah, Tyler Warren, pretty easy for all of us here.
Yeah.
Flowosaurus has one. Pick in 4-point passing touchdowns. C.J. Stroud, Geno Smith, Matt Stafford, or Russ. Leaning Stroud and Russ. So, Maddie, which two quarterbacks you going with here?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Stroud and Russ. I'm going to go with Stroud and Russ. They're the two highest in my rank, so that's what I'm going to go with there. I'm going to agree with you there, Flowosaurus.
All right, T-Rock.
So I have Stroud at 19. I have Geno at 20. I have Stafford at 22, and I have Russell Wilson. Where do I have him? 23. So I guess those two, CJ Stroud and Geno for me.
C.J. Stroud, Geno. Okay, I'm going to go with... I really like Russ tonight, so I'm going to go with Russ again. Just kind of, they're hot right now. Throwing the ball to neighbors like 17 times a game, so I like that. And then, man, I think I'm going to go Geno. I have some Geno that I need to fucking play good today, so I'm going to wish it into existence. I'm going to go Geno on that one. So, yeah, Geno and Russ for me. Let's see. Our next one here from DB again. Mariota or Geno? Same matchup. Who you got, T-Rock?
I am leaning Geno on that one. Mariota, I have a little bit further down. Kind of a desperation.
Okay. And Matty?
Geno. I'm going to go Geno. He's playing. He's one up, one down. Got to be up, right? So we're going to go
Yeah.
Geno over Mariota.
I mean, he's got all of his weapons. Bowers is healthy. Myers has been really good. I mean, he's got all the other ancillary pieces. So, yeah, give me Geno in this one. I'm hoping for a big fucking game. Geist has one for us. PPR, no tight end premium. Pick one tight end and one flex out of Juwan, Kelsey, Hollywood, and Downs. So, Maddie, who you got there?
No TEP, one tight end, one flex. So of the two tight ends, give me. They're so close to my rankings here, but I'm going to go Kelsey by a smidge. I got him at 8 and 10, so they're both pretty good plays. And now I'm not playing Downs right now. Hollywood, where do I have Hollywood? I think I'm going to go both tight ends here, even with the no TEP. I'm going to go with both tight ends.
All right. T-Rock?
Yeah, same for me. I have Hollywood as like the wide receiver 45, Downs as the wide receiver 56, but I have both tight ends as top 7 options. So I just feel a little bit better about that. They're both the focal points, I think, more so the offense. Hollywood, he had a great week 1, then came back down to earth week 2. And Downs is just too boom or bust. So it's hard to go with either of those guys over the tight end.
Yeah, I think it's hard for me to play Downs just because I don't know if the Colts are going to be in comeback mode. Juwan definitely for the tight end spot for me, and then I'll play Kelsey in my flex spot. Like if you get to the Sunday night game and you see that, man, I need a super big game, maybe Hollywood, and you're hoping for that really big play. But I mean, I'd probably just stick with Juwan and Kelsey, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
All right, DB's got one more here. Half PPR, DJ Moore, Pittman, or Marv. Bench one. He's starting Kyler for a stack. So, T-Rock, who you got there?
Okay, so I have DJ Moore at 29. That's 2 spots ahead of Marv at 31. And then Pittman Where do I have Pittman? I have him further down. So at 42, I'm going to go with DJ Moore and Pittman. I'm sorry, DJ Moore and Marv over Pittman. So.
All right, and Maddie?
I'm benching Pittman here, but DJ Moore, you listen up and you listen good. You're on thin ice, mister. This is the game against the boys, America's game. This is your DJ Moore. Hear me out. This is your chance to get back in my good graces. If he does not do well today, DJ Moore will sink in my rankings weekly to a point that will make me cry each and every week. So this is your last chance, but I'm sitting Pittman in this scenario now.
Yeah, I think for me, it's probably going to be the same. I'm going to start Pittman, but I do like Pittman today. I kind of want to say Marv, but if you're starting Kyler, you got to play Marv if that's your only option. You got to just play them together and hope for the best. So, yeah, I'll sit Pittman with the boys on this one.
It's also the Bears are going up against the Cowboys. We saw what happened with the Cowboys last week. So, yeah, go with DJ Moore.
All right, Frostbane has one for us. Start 2 in a PPR with a half tight end premium attached. Jacoby Myers, Michael Pittman, David Njoku, and Jake Ferguson. So, T-Rock, who you got there?
Jacoby I have as wide receiver 18. Pittman, I already said earlier, he's in the 40s for me. Njoku, it's kind of tough to play Njoku now. I have him as tight end 18 now. I think the split between him and Fannin is real to the point. I actually have Fannin ahead of him. Ferguson as the tight end 6. Let's go with Jacoby and Ferguson this week.
All right, and how about you, Manny?
I wish I had something different here, but I think for Frostbane here, we're going to be lock you in right now. I'm going Myers. I'm going Ferguson. Give me pieces of that 4:25 Eastern Standard Time Bears versus Dallas Cowboys all day, baby.
Yeah, I do still like Njoku, but I'm with the boys on this one too. I'm going to go Myers and Fergie just because of that high-scoring matchup. Bears secondary is pretty decimated right now. They're missing 2 of their top corners this week again, so... Yeah, give me those guys. All right, Fizz, gotta have Pitts for pleasure, as always.
I might actually go with Pitts this week. I don't know. He's doing actually pretty good.
All right, Jesse B has one for us. What's up? Burrow was my quarterback, and I have Jamar. Should I go with Browning, Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Mariota, or Darnold this week? So I'm guessing we're picking one here. Maddie, which quarterback are you picking here to start? And he does have Jamar for a stack opportunity.
I think it's enticing to think about Browning here for the stack, but we talked about in the walkthrough, E. This is going to be Browning's first time going against Brian Flores, which could be a nightmare scenario. So I'm not going to go with Browning despite the stack. Russell Wilson's who I have ranked highest. I think he can push 20 fantasy points this week, have another good game. So I'm going to go with Russell Wilson here.
All right, T-Rock.
And I'm going to go with Sam Darnold. I have him quite a few spots ahead of this huge clump of just back-end QBs. They are going up against the Saints. They're decently favored in that game against them. And the Saints have been a little bit feisty when it comes to being on offense, so they might push them a little bit more. There might be more scoring opportunities.
Yeah, I think even though you have Jamar, I'm going to sit Browning. It is still a Brian Flores defense, and they confuse the hell out of even the best quarterbacks in the league. So I think I'm going to shy away from Browning. I'm going to go with Maddie on this one. I'm going to go with Russ. You know, he's coming off of that really big game this week. It's another big game here on Sunday Night Football against the Chiefs. And Russ has had, I think he did pretty decent with the Broncos against them in the past too. So yeah, give me Russ in this one, and hopefully him and Neighbors and Wandale can hook up for some touchdowns tonight. So I'm with that.
That was his second highest passing volume of his entire career.
Yeah, hey,
Insane.
He looked good besides for that fucking OT interception. Woof.
Hey T, where do you have Darnold in your rankings?
16.
Okay. I'm in the same ballpark, but who do you have higher, him or Penix?
Oh, let me take a look. I have Penix one spot ahead. I have him at 15.
Okay, so all right, it's kind of like in the same areas. Okay, I was just wondering because you said it's a lot higher than the other guys. I wonder if I just wanted to see how you were pushing them. But yeah, we're
Gotcha.
in pretty much the same spots.
All right, Frostbane has one for us in a 0.75 tight end premium. Noah Fant or Jatavian Sanders. So, Maddie, start us off on this one.
I'm going Jatavian. I'm going to chase that volume. I like what I saw last week. I was expecting a little bit more of that in week 1. We didn't see the volume, but we did see it in week 2. There's been a lot of praise around JT Sanders, and there's still a wide open vacancy for who's going to be the number 2 pass catcher in this offense. So give me Jatavian Sanders here.
All right, T-Rock.
I don't even have Noah Fant ranked, so give me Jatavion just by process of elimination.
There you go. Yeah, I'm going to go with Sanders as well. He had like 7 targets last week, or is it 9 targets and 7 catches? I think
7 catches, 50 yards.
Yeah. So he had 9 targets last week. Obviously, they were in comeback mode. They were behind that whole game. But I think this is a little bit of a sneaky game today between the Falcons and the Panthers to be high scoring. So yeah, give me Jatavian Sanders in this one. Eli has one for us. Full PPR: Troy Franklin or Kayshon Boutte at the flex. So T-Rock, who you got there?
That is a great question. I'm going to have to use my Control F to scroll all the way down. Troy Franklin, I have at 52. And Booty, I have, how the hell do you spell Booty? I have him at 57. So I have him 5 spots ahead. Kayshon Boutte looked so good on that first drive, and then dude didn't do shit for the whole rest of the game. Yeah, let's see if Troy Franklin can repeat what he did last week.
All right, Maddie, you going with your Patriots or you going with the Broncos on this one?
I'm going to go with Franklin here. I do have him quite a bit higher. I have him as a 45 player, wide receiver 45, and I dropped Boutte closer to the 60s. If you look at Franklin, the 2 games have had volume, 6 targets and 9 targets. It's pretty good volume for a guy that has a rapport with his quarterback. I'm gonna go with Franklin here in his week 3 matchup against the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm going to lean Franklin on this one, but I do think it's close. I still like Boutte. I still want him on my teams right now. So I think he's going to have better days ahead. Just last week it was, 1 catch. It was a touchdown if you did start him, so that was good. But definitely want to see some more volume from him.
I do like this question, though, only because the Steelers' defense is not nearly as good as the Chargers' defense. But with Boutte only getting literally like 2 targets last week, it's just hard to start him. That's the only.
Right. All right, Tom's got one here for us. Egbuka Limited or Tyrone Tracy? So, T-Rock, which one you got there?
Mika Ibuka I have as a top 25 option. Tyrone Tracy, I think he might have lost the job to Cam Scatabo. I have him ranked a lot lower, RB 39, so I'm going to go with Ibuka.
All right, Maddie?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Buka as well, because even if if he's a little hindered by the limited practices, he's only had 4 catches both of these games to start the season. Caught a touchdown in both of them. Caught 2 in week 1. So I mean, he could score on maybe limited volume. So I'm gonna go with that, and I completely agree with the Tracy thing. There's a reason why earlier in the show Cam Scatabo was picked over Travion Henderson. It's because he's going to play over Tyrone Tracy. So I think we're all kind of out on Tracy as a viable option in the near future. So give me Egbuka for sure, even with the limited practices.
Yeah, I'm going to go Egbuka on this question, but I am sitting Egbuka in some other of my leagues. I sat him for some other options. So if we do get some more Egbuka questions, I can go over that. Fizz has one. We got Doo-Doo Brown or Skinny Bateman. Or Skinny Batman. Okay, that's Devontae, I guess. So which one are we going here? I thought it said Bateman.
I'm going to go. Go ahead. A.J. Brown. Go ahead, Matt.
Who is this supposed to be?
Devontae and A.J.
Devontae Smith. Yeah, he calls him Batman because some comment where it's like, we have 2 number 1s. We have 2 Batmans. We don't have any Robins.
Okay. I'm going to go with A.J. Brown here.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with AJ Brown too. So, yeah, it's tough to play them. We just had this one, Boutte or Franklin. All of us went Franklin, so we went over that one. Tony, what's going on, buddy? Need 2 of Mason, Walker, and Kyron in a PPR league. So, T-Rock, fire us off on this one.
Okay, I have Mason as a top 12 option. I have him number 12. Walker, I have him further down. I have him at 18. And then Kyron, I have him actually all the way down at 25. So I'm going to go with Walker and Mason.
So you don't even have Kyron as an RB2 this week.
It's such a tough matchup against the Eagles, and also, too, with Blake Corum getting a little bit more run. I just think it might just be a shooting match when it comes to just going through the air with Adams and with it's just hard to trust Kyron this week.
Yeah, and then you said Walker at 18. He's the only running back they fucking got.
Yeah. Also, too, they are going up against the Saints, and I think they just want to get Darnold going with JSN.
The Saints.
Yeah, I think it is tough. I think with now Charbonnet, maybe I didn't account for Charbonnet being out. So yeah, but regardless, still want Kenneth Walker over Kyron.
All right, Maddie, who you got?
Yeah, that's interesting. But I'm definitely going Jordan Mason. I think he's in smash mode here, and I'm going to go with Kenneth Walker too because it looks like Charbonnet will be out or pretty limited. So I'm going to go Walker as well. But I wanted to ask you, T, when you talked about how low you had Kyron, I wanted to ask you about Corum because that is going to be a big difference for a lot of these teams that had Corum at the end of their redrafts. All of a sudden, if this guy could be a viable running back in this offense. Do you see that kind of? Do you see like are we on the tracks?
Well, if Kyron gets hurt, because that's the only way you're going to be able to play him until he gets hurt or something happens. I don't think it's ever going to be 50-50. No.
And he's around enough to drop Kyron out of your RB2 spots, right? So that's something we got to watch this week. That's very interesting. I'm glad you brought that up.
And it's a tough matchup. It's the Eagles.
It is.
So.
Yeah,
well,
I'm gonna go.
Jalen Davis will just spit on somebody and he'll be out of the game.
Yeah. I'm going to go Mason and Walker, too, as well. Though I think with Kyron, I don't know if they're going to play Corum as much this week just because it is that tough matchup. I think they're going to want to trust the proven guy, Kyron, a little bit more in this matchup. So I still think Kyron's a solid RB2 play, but, I'm going to go Mason and Walker on this one. All right, here's a good one for us. George Halani isn't the worst desperation start on a 0 RB dynasty team, is he? It's him or Caleb Johnson or Cam Akers, so fuck it. So who do you got there, T-Rock, between those three options?
Oh, my God. You just need a hope and a prayer. You need both of those guys in your lineup before you play any of them. I'm going to go with Caleb Johnson, though. So, because those other two guys might literally be healthy scratches. I don't even know if Halani's even gotten any run, but I know Caleb Johnson will get some opportunity in today's game.
Maddie, who you got?
So if Charbonnet's out, I would go Halani here. Because I think of the three names we see, I think Caleb might be the one that's inactive this week. He is in the diggity doghouse for Mike Tomlin. They even brought up, what bum running back did they put on their active roster yesterday?
Trey Sermon.
Trey Sermon. He's in the doghouse. I like him the most as a player, obviously, but he might be in that diggity doghouse this week.
Yeah, all four of them are active. They didn't deactivate any of those guys. So I think I'm going to go with Halani, though. Charbonnet was doubtful. Usually guys that are doubtful do not play. So I'm going to go Halani here. He has been on the active roster all year. He is their third running back. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Halani. And because I don't even know if Caleb's even going to get a touch. I think Cam Akers might get a touch or two, but he just got back with the team. So, who knows? It's the same kind of playbook, though, so I don't think it's going to be too bad. But, yeah, give me Halani here for a desperation play.
So, I just looked at his stats from last week. All he did was kick return stuff. He had 5 kick returns, 133 yards, and a touchdown. So what is he going to play on offense?
Zach Charbonnet played last week there, Chief. That's why
I understand that, but what does George Halani do outside of special teams?
He's going to be their third running back. They never play him because they play Charbonnet and one Walker.
I gotcha. Okay.
And I can guarantee you Halani won't give the opposition a touchdown.
Well, why the hell are they playing Caleb Johnson as special teams? Did he do that in college? I mean, did the coaching staff set him up for failure? This is some bullshit on Caleb.
I don't know, brother. You know that rule. Everyone knows you got to get on the rock. You can't let the rock be exposed. Yeah, right, dude.
Did you watch me and Fizz on Tuesday morning? I was literally like, I actually don't know what happened in that play.
All right, here we got one from Claire. Scott Fishbowl. Start Hunter Henry, Tyquan Thornton, or Cedric Tillman and Scott Fishbowl scoring. So, Maddie, go ahead. What do you got there?
I'm going to go with Hunter Henry. Not versus Vegas. They're actually against Pittsburgh this week. So I'm going to go with Hunter Henry because of Scott Fishbowl. You get the extra, little bonuses for tight ends. And I don't think you'll see much volume go by the way of Tyquan Thornton or Tillman. So I'm going to go with Hunter Henry.
Okay. How about you, T-Rock?
And I'm going to go with Hunter Henry as well. I do believe that Jack Conklin is out for the Browns. So I have no idea what I'm expecting to see against this Packers defense. It could look very, very ugly for all the Browns this week. And Tyquan Thornton, you're just never going to know when to start him. So I'm just going to go with Hunter Henry.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect from Thornton. It's between Henry or Tillman for me. I think I'm just going to go with the heavy premium in Scott Fishbowl. I'm going to go Hunter Henry on that one. I think that'll break the tie for me on that one. Okay, Tony's got another one here for us. Stafford, Browning, or Tyrod. 6 point per touchdown, -2 for interception, 0.2 for completions, and -3 for -0.3 for incompletion. So interesting settings there. T-Rock, which quarterback are you going to start in that one?
I don't know about all those little add-ons at the end, but I'm still going to go with Stafford. I think they all have very tough matchups, but only one of them has both Puka and Devontae Adams on offense. Well, I guess Jake Brown has some really good wide receivers too, but yeah, I'm just going to go with the experienced veteran and Stafford.
Okay, how about you, Maddie?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Stafford here. I'm thinking about Tyrod. I think Tyrod, because of these completion things, we could see that number be a little bit higher than we expect if he can kind of just game manage. But I'm going to go with T here because I think Stafford has the weapons. And I think this could be a good game, and so I don't think it's going to go haywire for a guy like Stafford. I think he could fall onto 3 touchdowns even if he only has 260 yards passing.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on this one. Go Stafford, Puka, and Devontae Adams. Just get the ball. They catch the ball. Those should be the completion points that I need. So, yeah, give me Stafford in this one.
Tyrod might pass for like 10 times, so that's not going to really amount to much, even if he gets a high completion.
Yeah,
I've been seeing some things that about him in this offense that make me think if he plays well, he might not give the job back right away, which is funky to me. I was not expecting to
I
see
don't know,
anything
but
like
it's
that.
a little too early.
That's what I've been reading. It's
Scooter's
weird.
got
Weird
one
stuff.
for us. We got Bucky, A.J. Brown, who is a stack, and Tet McMillan. Flex one of these guys in PPR. So, Maddie, which one you got between Bucky, A.J., and Tet?
I do have Tet as a top 10 play this week at receiver without Terrell on the field, but I am going to
And
go
Leggett
Bucky.
is out too.
Well, I mean, so it means 8 targets ain't going for -2 yards this week. That's good to hear for this offense. But I'm going to go with Bucky because the volume's just been pretty astronomical. He even was vultured a touchdown away last week, and he still smashed his projections. And then you look at, this guy hits 20-point potential always in terms of his volume, 1-point PPR league. So give me Bucky.
All right. T-Rock?
Scoot, who the hell do you have at wide receiver in RB where Bucky and Tet is a flex option? Because they're
Good
both
call.
top 10 options for me. Bucky Irving's number 10, and so is Tet. So flip a coin, but I'm just going to go with Tet just because of how good he has looked. And what is it called? The Buccaneers. I almost said the Buckeyes. The Buccaneers are down a couple offensive linemen, so that might make it a little bit tougher. So I'm going to go with Tet.
Yeah, I'm with T-Rock on that one. I'm going to go Tet as well. Buccaneers a little banged up on the offensive line, so I don't know how effective Bucky will be against the Jets. So, yeah, give me Tet. Everything's lining up for Tet. Their top corners out for the Falcons. Xavier Leggett inactive. Like, everything's lining up for Tet to have his a monster game today. So I think it's Tet pretty easy.
I also said that while also looking at their offensive line, the Panthers are also down some offensive linemen. Still
Yeah,
going with
gives a
Tet.
shit. Just throw it to Tet. He's down there somewhere. All right, Geist, PPR with a half tight end premium. Pittman, Travis Hunter, or Dallas Goddard. So, T-Rock, who you got here on this one?
I know I have Hunter a little bit further down. He's been kind of disappointing me, but they are still back to back. I'm just going to go with Pittman, just hoping that he has a little bit more consistency. I just need Travis Hunter to show me something where I can put him over Pittman.
How about you, Maddie?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Pittman too. If Hunter needs to turn this volume into some big yardage, some big fantasy production. 2 weeks in, it hasn't been great, so I'm gonna go with Pittman, who has shown kind of his ceiling game 2 weeks ago with that touchdown, 60 yards receiving, whatever it was.
So I got a two-parter on this one for you, Geist. If it is a matchup where you just need a solid performance, I'm going Michael Pittman. If you need that, you need a home run, you're projected down 25 or 20, whatever it is, I'm going Hunter. Because I think Hunter, he's going to have a big game here at some point. It's at home, so I like that too. Hunter's going to have one of these monster fucking games soon, so that's where I'm going with that one. Pittman, if you just need a solid 10 to 12 points. Hunter, if I need the boom. Tony's got another one here for us. Jawan or Jacoby Myers with a 2.0 tight end premium. So, T-Rock, which one you got on that one?
Well, if it's Jawan Jennings, he's out. But if he's talking about the tight end, Jawan Johnson.
It's Jawan Johnson, because that's not how you spell Jawan Jennings.
All right. Well, that is very true. I'm going to go with Jawan Johnson. So.
Okay. And how about you, Maddie?
With the premium 2.0 TEP, I am going to go with Juwan Johnson.
Yep, I'm with you on that one. I'm going to go Juwan Johnson as well. He's just getting monster targets right now. And he's almost 100% snap player, too. That's like super rare at the tight end position. So, yeah, give me Juwan Johnson in a game where I expect him to have to throw.
Philby should have a good game, though, especially with Brock Bowers a little bit banged up.
Yeah, for sure.
Me, so.
Good morning. Need some help here. Start 3, bench 1. Chuba Hubbard, DeAndre Swift, Ricky Pearsall, Ja'Cory Krosky, Merritt. So which guy are you sitting here, Maddie?
I think I'm going to sit Swift. Here.
Sit Swift. Okay. T-Rock?
So I have Swift actually ahead of Chuba. Ja'Cory Krosky, Merritt. A lot further down. So I'm going to sit Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. Yeah, that's who I'm going to sit.
Okay. I think I'm with you on that one, T-Rock. I'm going to sit Bill, too, just to kind of see how this backfield shakes out. Chris Rodriguez is going to get some run. Jeremy McNichols is going to get some run. So Pearsall's the number one today for sure. Swift is our number one running back. Chuba's the number one running back. Yeah, so give me those three. Pretty easy. Another one here from Scooter. Jake Browning or Carson Wentz in a 6-point per passing touchdown. So the guys that are going up against each other today. T-Rock, which one are you going to go with?
This is tough, but I'm going to go with Carson Wentz. They're literally back-to-back for me. But Carson Wentz has to go up against the Bengals defense, whereas Jake Browning has to go up against the Vikings. That is the basically the tiebreaker for me.
Okay. Maddie?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Wentz as well.
Okay. Man, this one's tough. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Wentz just because I think the Bengals defense is a little worse. And Wentz is going to be able to throw it into Jefferson and Thielen and Hawkinson and those guys. So, yeah, give me Carson Wentz in this one, too. All right, Tony's got another one here for us. Terry McLaurin or DeAndre Swift in half PPR. T-Rock, which guy are you going to go with there?
That is a good one. Swift has not looked that good, but Terry McLaurin hasn't been really producing. Let me see where I have Terry McLaurin. See, I have him once wide receiver 34, and then Swift as RB 17. I'm gonna go with. I think I'm just gonna go with Swift. No, I can't go. I'll hate myself if I pick Swift over Terry McLaurin. Go with Terry McLaurin. It is close.
All right. Maddie, who you got?
I'm going to go with Swift. I have it pretty close, but with the Mariota, connection, it's already fell off a little bit, and you don't get as much for the volume of passing, where I'm just going to put my eggs in the Dallas and Bears basket this week, and I'm going to go with Swift in hopes that the volume's in. It's just a high-scoring affair.
I'm with you
You're
on
playing
that
the
one.
Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Maddie. I'm going to go with Swift as well, and just hoping that high-scoring game can get me that. I don't know, if Mariota's never been that guy with the high-volume passing and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, give me Swift in that one. Claire's got another one here for us. PPR flex with no PPR. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. PPR flex, but with no PPR. But point 0.5 receiving first down. Sit one of Quentin Johnson, Quinshawn Judkins, Tucker Kraft with his injury, or Cooper Kupp. So which guy are you sitting there, Maddie?
Judkins has a really, really tough matchup against the Packers, but he looks so good. Cup with the JSN news, he looked good last week. This is actually pretty razor for me. If half point, this is tough. They got to put it together. I am going to sit Quinshawn Judkins. I'm going to sit Quinshawn.
Okay. How about you, T-Rock? Because this one might break your percentages this week. I think we all might have different answers.
I'm going to sit Cup only because the insane target share that JSN is getting. I know Cup had a bounce back. Definitely not sitting Kraft. He's a top 3 option for me. And Judkins did look good in the limited snaps he had against Baltimore. So, and I know he's going to get an uptick. So, and you just can't sit QJ until he just gives you a 0, which he might do this week, but he's got that. So yeah, just give me a sit and Cup for me.
I'm going to sit Kraft. I've sat Kraft kind of every spot I could. I just don't think they're going to need him as much against the Browns. So I could see them, second half, maybe sitting him a little bit, let Musgrave and the other tight ends play a little bit more. So I'm going to sit Kraft in this one, and I'll start the other 3 for me.
Bolden finally goes off this week.
Probably. All right, another one here. We got Big E. Could you pick one of Pacheco, Judkins, or Butte in PPR? So T-Rock, start us off. Who you got?
I think Pacheco is just a bench stash just until he actually does something. I have him as RB38 this week, so I'm never going to start Judkins Pacheco. Judkins or Booty. I'm just going to go with Judkins for all the things I said earlier about Booty.
Okay. How about you, Matty?
I'm actually going to go with Keyshawn Booty here. Get the PPR boost here. I expect him to be more involved on a volume basis against this defense who has not been all that good so far this season, have given a lot of points. So I'm going to go with Butte, but it is close, and I do agree with T. It's tough to play Pacheco right now. So tough to get him in your lineup.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm going to go Judkins as well. It would be between Judkins and Butte for me as well. Pacheco, I have him in my ranks as RB 477, so he's way down my list this week.
Pretty close to it. Same ballpark as mine.
Yeah, I'll play like Lawrence Phillips coming back from the fucking dead to fucking play over him.
Whoa.
George Halani over him.
All right, Joe Flacco or Mac Jones from Connor. So, Matty, which quarterback are we going with here? Mac Jones or Joe Flacco?
I'm going with Mac Jones here. The Flacco volume has been crazy. He's thrown the ball like the most in the NFL. But just, again, another really tough matchup for the Browns. This Packers defense has been really tough so far, so I'm expecting it to be tough for the Browns and Joe Flacco. And Mac Jones, Kyle Shanahan, that's the marriage that apparently has been destined to happen. He looked pretty good last week. I think he can repeat this week against the Cardinals.
All right, T-Rock?
I'm going with Mac Jones against the Cardinals over Joe Flacco versus the Packers. I think it's as easy as that.
I think this is a lot closer than people think, because I think Cleveland's going to have to throw to get back in this one. So Flacco could just end up with 270 yards, just off of sheer volume. But I think I will go Mac Jones slightly just because he did look pretty good last week, threw 3 touchdowns. Even without Jawan Jennings, which is going to suck, I think he can still just dump it off to McCaffrey and dump it off to Pearsall and be okay.
No, it's hard for you to pick against Joe Flacco, so I'm very proud of you, Evie.
Because people underestimate him. All right, Peter has a trade question for us. He got this offer in his inbox: May and Ibuka or Marv and Burrow for a contending team, Superflex 6 point per touchdown. So, Matty, which side are you doing on this trade?
I think I'm going to take the May and Ibuka side. Burrow seems to have the most value, which he probably should. When he's so healthy, he's so good, even as a mobile. Not a mobile quarterback. And the 6 point per passing touchdowns, obviously, right up his alley. But Marv might not be that difference maker, and I think May's close enough. He's on the field, so I'm going to go with May and Ibuka.
All right, T-Rock.
I'm assuming this is Dynasty. So if that's the case, both Marv and Burrow are ranked ahead of May and Ibuka, and I am not so sure if either of these guys by the season end are going to be taken ahead of these guys in startups. So I'm going to go with Marv and Burrow.
Okay. I think Burrow will still be rated ahead of May when it comes redraft season next year, or startup season next year. I think it'll be a lot closer than what it is right now. How we perceived it at the beginning of the season. But my thing is Ibuka and Marv, I bet you they're probably neck and neck, back to back in rankings for people come redraft season next year. Like, I think if Marv doesn't start, becoming this super stud that we all thought he was going to be, Ibuka, he's so loved in the community right now. He's going to be way up there. So, yeah, I think I'm fine doing this trade. Like, I don't think the difference between May and Ibuka to Marv and Burrow at season's end is going to be anything, big. So, yeah, getting May and Ibuka production now, I'll definitely do that for sure. So, I would accept
Maybe
that.
wait, since Marv and Burrow aren't really doing much right now. Maybe just wait, because I don't think May and Ibuka are gonna explode over the next couple of weeks where they supersede.
Yeah. All right. Next one up here is another one from Connor. Travis Hunter or Christian Kirk. So, Maddie, which one you got there?
I'm a little bullish in terms of my expectations for Christian Kirk, but I do have Travis Hunter a few spots higher, so I'm going to go with my rankings here and go with Hunter.
Okay. And T-Rock?
I'm going to go with Hunter only because Christian Kirk is coming back from injury. He hasn't played at all. This is his first start. So it's just kind of hard to trust a guy like that on an offense that's looked like absolute dog shit for the first couple of weeks. I don't think Kirk is the key to that. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Travis Hunter.
I'm with you, T-Rock, 100%. I'm going with Hunter, hoping for that big game. Christian Kirk, I want to see it first before I put him into my lineup. Frostbane, another one. One last league, PPR, Cedric Tillman, Calvin Austin, Diami Brown, or Hunter Renfrow. Sit one of these guys. So, T-Rock, which guy are you going to sit?
So I have Tillman at 53. I don't even have Austin ranked top 60. So,
That's probably your answer then.
yeah, then there we go. Let's. Okay. Well, I don't know if I have. Yeah, I have Diami Brown ranked either. I only go with the top 60 guys. No, I have him at 59. Yeah, go with bench and Calvin Austin.
All right, Maddie.
I'm going to bench Diami Brown.
Interesting.
I just want to see more targets. Go to the two guys. Let's just get it right this time, Jacksonville. Let's get it right.
So when I talked earlier about who I would sit Ibuka for today, I'm actually playing Diami Brown over Ibuka in a couple spots. So he's been getting a bunch of targets, and if Hunter is going to be playing more on defense, I think Diami Brown could still do it. So I'm with T-Rock on this one. I'm going to sit Calvin Austin. I still don't trust him. At least Tillman, Brown, Renfrow, those guys are getting some targets right now. So I'm going to go with those guys and sit Calvin Austin. From the earlier question when we were asking who he had when he has Bucky or Ted,
Holy
he has
shit.
Ladd and Neighbors or his wide receivers. So
Well, that makes sense. So
yeah. Scooter's got another one. Tet or Ladd in one PPR. Very interesting.
I'm going to go actually with Tet.
Me too.
So,
Me too.
yeah, I have Ladd. He should have a blow up game, but they are distributing the ball so well to both him, Keenan Allen, and also QJ as well. So he should have a bounce back. He is kind of if you can buy him now, buy Ladd. But Tet, it's so good. So.
All right. And Maddie, you said Tet as well, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ted. Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to go Ted as well. It's just matchup based for me. Atlanta's top corner's out. Their secondary wasn't very good to begin with. Ladd's going up against probably the best secondary in the league. So I think that's pretty easy for me to go with Ted. Let's see here. Claire has another one for us with Jawan Jennings out. Connor or Pearsall? Interesting question here. So, T-Rock, who you got?
Hunter, I have him as RB21, and I believe I had Pearsall like in the he's a wide receiver. I'm just gonna lean a little bit towards Pearsall only because Trey Benson's been getting a little bit more carries, and I've been eating the L after all the shit I've been talking about him all off season. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Pearsall.
All right, Maddie.
Yeah, I got to go with Pearsall here. I think the uptick in volume going his way with Jennings out is going to be pretty significant, and he's been a good player for this 49ers team 2 weeks in. So I'm going to go with Pearsall over Connor, who's losing gain. He's losing ground to the Trey Benson.
Another one too is the Cardinals. I believe are missing 2 or 3 corners as well. So yeah, give me Pearsall on this one. Pretty easy over Connor. Crispy has one for us. Full point PPR with a first down for everyone. So, 0.5 tight ends, PPR extra. Bill, Cup, Ertz, or Chubb. Start one of these guys. So, Maddie, which one are you going to start between Krosky, Merritt, Cup, Ertz, and Chubb?
Probably going to go with Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz has been awesome so far this season for Washington. Mariota is going to look for the vet he did last year as well when he was in. So I'm going to go with Ertz.
All right, T-Rock.
I'm gonna go with Baby Billy Krosky Merritt. I have him just ahead of Nick Chubb. And Ertz, yeah, it feels like he's scored like 16 touchdowns in a row in games, but eventually that's going to have to come to a stop. And Cup, I just have too far down. So I'm just going to go with Bill slightly ahead of Ertz for me.
I'm going to go with Maddie on this one. I'm going to go Ertz with the tight end premium. Just as long as Ertz gets me 4 or 5 catches, I'm going to be safe in the double-digit points, and that's usually pretty good for me. So I'm going to go with Ertz on that one. Dr. B, coming off of his big Florida State win yesterday. James Conner or Michael Pittman, full PPR. T-Rock, who you starting between these two?
I am going to go with James Conner. I know that he's going to be locked in as the RB1. It might be more of a share, but Pittman could just completely disappear with all wide receivers they have in Indy. So I'm just going to go sure thing in Conner.
All right, and Maddie, who do you got?
In my flex rankings, I got Connor a little bit higher, so I'm going to go with Connor there. I agree with T-Rock.
Yeah, I think I go with Connor. He's been, more solid lately anyways. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with Connor on that one too. It's close though, for sure. All right, let's see. Next one up here is from Gerard. Full PPR, Ridley, Hampton, Quinton Johnston, or Stephon Diggs. I'm guessing we're picking one here. So, Maddie, which one are you picking out of this group?
I'm kind of down on all of them collectively, but if I had to pick the highest in my rankings here, it's between Calvin Ridley and Amarian Hampton. Does Amarian Hampton get that breakthrough game? Or does Calvin Ridley start converting on some of the volume he has seen? I'm going to go with Ridley in the PPR format. Give me Ridley. I think we could see him get 12, 15 points, and I think that's a good floor to start. So I'm going to go with Ridley here.
All right, T-Rock, which one you got?
I'm going with Ridley as well. I am hoping and praying, guys, that Amarian Hampton and Ashton Genty are having a start similar to like Jonathan Taylor. Remember how dog shit he was the first 8 weeks of the season, and then he became who we know as today. Amarian Hampton has just not looked good. So I'm just going to go with Ridley. Quentin Johnson, wouldn't be surprised if he does better, but it's just too boomer bust, guys. So give me Ridley.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Ridley as well. I think it's a little bit his easiest matchup of the year for sure. He's had 2 tough matchups to start the year. So, yeah, give me Calvin Ridley at home against the Colts. I think he has a good game this week. So, yeah, Calvin Ridley as well. Beaker's got one for us. A.J. Brown or Ricky Pearsall. I'm really tempted to pick Pearsall with Philly facing that Rams defense. Guide me, gents. Maddie, are you changing it here? Would you go Pearsall over A.J.?
No, I still would go with AJ Brown. I just have him higher ranked. Eventually he's going to have that game that kind of corrects the stats. It could be this week in a tough matchup on paper, but just in these big time games with these big time teams, you could see big time players rise to the occasion. AJ Brown for me is just too much higher in my rankings than take Pearsall, even with Jennings out.
All right, T-Rock.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the Eagles are not going to be able to push their way into a win against the Rams. I think they're a little bit tougher matchup. They have to get AJ Brown or Devontae Smith involved in this one. So I know he's done nothing. I know this is tough. I'm going to go with AJ Brown.
I'm going to go Ricky Pearsall on this one. I just think he is going to get 10-plus targets. I don't know if AJ Brown's getting 10-plus targets even still. So I think Ricky Pearsall is just going to have better stats today. He's their only guy they got to throw to other than McCaffrey. So, yeah, give me Ricky Pearsall on this one over AJ Brown. I think you got to make some tough decisions in fantasy to your starting lineups to get a win. I think this is the right call. Like, everything is pointing towards Ricky Pearsall here over AJ Brown. So, yeah, give me Ricky Pearsall on this one. Jacob's got one here for us. Kelsey or Kraft for the tight end, or Kamara or Chase Brown for the flex. So what do we got here, T-Rock, for both of these questions?
So I have Kraft as my tight end 3, one spot ahead of Kelsey as my tight end 4. And then I guess if it's the same team, are we debating whether or not? Well, I'm going to put Kamara definitely over Chase Brown.
Yeah, he didn't mention any premium, so I would assume. Yeah. Maddie, who you got on these two questions?
So I'm definitely going to go with Kraft. Got him a little bit higher. Alvin Kamara, Chase Brown are back-to-back in my rankings. But I'm gonna go with Chase Brown to try to catch up on these points on T-Rock.
Don't do that. I have him 8 spots ahead of Chase Brown. I have him way further down. It could be really terrible against the Vikings. You really sure about that? You sure about that?
I have Alvin Kamara ranked 14, Chase Brown 15, so it's that close. So since we are playing a game too, but Jacob is right. No,
you're me one spot lower.
For Jacob's sake, go with Kamara, but I'm gonna go with Brown and for record keeping T, so I can catch.
All right, sounds good.
I'm gonna go Kelsey over Kraft just because Kraft I think is going to maybe sit out some of the second half if they're up a lot like we expect. Kelsey and those guys should be in a shootout game, I think, tonight. So I'm going to go Kelsey for sure. And then I am going to go Chase Brown over Kamara on this one. I do like the little bit of, the Vikings haven't been so great against the run this year like I thought they were going to be. So I think I like Chase Brown a little bit more in this game than Kamara for this one. Peter's got one more here for us. Ibuka or Chuba in PPR. So, Maddie, who you got on that one?
I'm going to go with Chuba Hubbard. Give me Chuba Hubbard here.
Okay. And T-Rock?
I'm going to go with Ibuka. Chuba Hubbard and the Panthers offense does not look that good. They are one of the worst when it comes to running back efficiencies through 2 weeks, and they are down multiple offensive linemen. So if they get down early, I know he can catch the ball, but I just like a lot more what I've seen with Ibuka than I have from Chuba.
Yeah, I don't remember if they put anybody on IR, but only a center, which I don't even think was their starter, is listed as inactive today for Carolina. So I think I'm going to go Chuba, though, still on this one, with Ibuka being a little bit more limited. Chuba's been, he's found the end zone 2 weeks in a row, and he's actually, last week, got a lot of catches, so that was encouraging for me too in a PPR league. So I'm gonna go Chuba on that one. Jay, our buddy Jay's got one for us here. Pick 2 and with a 2-point premium for tight ends, I'm assuming. But there's no tight ends. Never mind. Brian Thomas Jr., Rome, Hollywood, or T. So pick 2 in PPR.
I'll go first. Brian Thomas Jr., I have as at 10, and then Rome I have at 12. And I'm not going to scroll down with those other guys, so those are just going to be my 2.
All right, Maddie?
I agree. I'm not getting away from BTJ, and Rome looks like he has arrived. And again, we want pieces of that game against Cowboys and Bears, so I'm going to go with Rome. I'm going with BTJ.
Yeah, I think I'm the same with you guys. I'm gonna go Rome and BTJ. I'm not gonna sit him for T just yet, but I could see T outperforming BTJ, but I can't do it. I'm gonna take Brian Thomas Jr. Beaker said, "Thanks, I agree. That breakout's coming for Brown, but I gotta win now. I'm risking the biscuit." So okay.
Let's
And
go,
then the
baby.
last question here from Eric: half PPR, start one flex, Metcalf, T Higgins, or Quinn Judkins. So T Rock, finish us off, buddy.
In front of everybody.
Yes.
20. I have DK Metcalf at 28. I have T further down at 37. So I'm going to go with DK. It is, I do believe they're playing the Seahawks. So it is a revenge game. So I'm going to go with that over. It's hard to play Judkins.
They're
playing
playing the
New England.
Patriots.
Last week.
All
Was the
right. Well,
revenge
never
game.
mind.
And he did
Oh,
score.
shit.
Last week he
Okay.
played against them.
Well, he's going to take that revenge game from last week, carry it on into this week. I'm going with DK still.
All right. Maddie, who you got?
I'm gonna go with T Higgins. I got a one spot higher, so I'll go with T Higgins.
Yeah, I'm the same with you. I'm going to go T Higgins as well. Metcalf could have a big game with Christian Gonzalez missing another week, but man, I want to see some life from the Steelers passing offense before I, really buy into it. I think T Higgins has done really good with Jake Browning in the past, so yeah, I'm gonna stick with T Higgins on that one. So, but that's gonna be it, guys. We are at 12:56. Couple minutes here till the game starts. So, Maddie, T Rock, appreciate you guys as always, man. We're looking forward to a good week 3.
Hey,
those
we
wings.
appreciate you too, Evie. So thank you for doing
Thank
this.
you, thank you. Yeah, so it's gonna be hopefully a good week. Knock on wood, no major injuries this week. Let's stay out of that. No more quarterbacks getting hurt. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this week. Who you guys think is the highest scoring team on the week? Final question: who's the highest scoring team?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. I think that should be a huge shootout between them and the Bears. Have looked terrible on defense, but so are the Cowboys. So I want one of those two teams. Give me the Cowboys.
All right, Maddie, who you got?
The Atlanta Falcons.
Atlanta Falcons. Okay, so you took both of my answers. Nice.
Oh, maybe the Ravens could put up a lot of points.
Ravens
against
could
the
put a
Lions.
lot of points too.
Yep. Ooh, who do I think could put up a bunch of points today that we haven't said yet? I think I'm gonna go with the Houston Texans on the road. I think they finally get it right and get it going. I think Nico Collins finally has that big game. Nick Chubb gets running and rolling. So I'm going to go Houston as a dark horse one there.
We want to help out Juan Pena Jr. with the absolute book that he just wrote us in the comments. Oh my god. It's going to take me 10 minutes just to put this into the start shit sheet and then figure it all out.
Yeah, sorry,
Poor
Juan.
bastard.
We're gonna have to miss out on that one. But, we got to go. But appreciate everybody tapping in. At Eric Vanek NFL, at TRock5220, at Matty Kiwoom, all on X. Follow us there. Follow all our stuff we got going on during the week. Waiver wires show. We got the walkthrough me and Matty do Thursday evenings. T-Rock's got the Vibes channel with Fizz that's going on twice a week as well. So make sure you guys tap into all that. Got some great content for you guys. So with that, we'll be back next week for week 4. We'll see you later.